Are you someone planning to do an intentional journey with psilocybin mushrooms, therapeutic use, but you're also using Abilify? If so, this video is important for you. And before I go any further, I want to explain we are not medically trained. This is just information that we have gathered that we're sharing for educational purposes. This is Eddie, where Margaret and I are a Mindful Emergence, and we offer mindfulness, movement, and breathing practices for those of you wanting healing and spiritual transformation. And most of our work is with plant medicine, specifically psilocybin mushrooms. So here's the situation. We recently experienced someone who used psilocybin mushrooms, a fairly high dose, for intentional purposes, and they had no effect. The experience was like, is something supposed to be happening here? It was only a minimal effect. And we were really puzzled because part of our screening is to ask about SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, like Prozac and Zoloft are the most common. Well, SSRIs are a problem for those wanting to use psilocybin because SSRIs and psilocybin hit the same receptors. So if someone is taking Prozac, for example, and they decide to do a high dose psilocybin journey, nothing may happen because the receptors have been blunted by the SSRIs. So for those of us who come to us and ask us to prepare them to do ceremony with psilocybin and they're on SSRIs, we explain this to them and tell them they need to go to their provider, their psychiatrist, their PA, whoever it is, and explain to them that they want to try to come off. That is, that they want to do this. And then the medical provider will take them through this process. Okay? So these people weren't on SSRIs. But afterwards, when we were trying to sort this out and figure out why did this happen, we learned that suddenly the guy had been on Abilify. And this was information that we found out after the fact. And they didn't think it was that important because Abilify is not an SSRI. Abilify is what's called an atypical antipsychotic. And these are used to decrease mood swings, psychosis, severe depression, mania, and they're often prescribed as an alternative to a typical antipsychotic. Now, don't ask me to tell you what that is because I can't even pronounce these things. But these are medications particularly prescribed for people with schizophrenia, bipolar, and so on. They're different from SSRIs. However, once we did our research, we found out that Abilify blunts the experience just like SSRIs do. And we uncovered some information, and I put it in the description, the source, so you can read it. And then I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who was trained at the Center for Medicinal Mindfulness in Colorado. And he was trained to sit for people using cannabis and psilocybin and other medicines intentionally. And he told me that when people out there do psilocybin journeys, they have Abilify standing by in case somebody has an experience that's, I'm going to say, out of control, or they want to kind of mitigate it and bring it down. They will administer Abilify to help people come down from intense psilocybin experiences. It's the same way that CBD oil is used to help bring people down if they're in extreme states using cannabis, THC. So I want you to know this because if you're on Abilify and you decide you want to do psilocybin, you need to have a conversation with your provider, okay? And talk about this because you might end up really being disappointed. And I can tell you this, I shared this information with a number of people who prepare people for psilocybin, sit with people, and so on. And for the most part, they didn't know. We've taken courses, we've been with a lot of people doing this medicine, um, talked to a lot of other people that sit, and nobody knew until I talked to this one gentleman who had learned through the Center for Medicinal Mindfulness about Abilify. So that's the information. If you have any experience, any comments, please put them in there. If you have resources, we want to share this with others. The whole purpose of this channel is to educate, to help people get a deeper understanding of how we can use these medicines like psilocybin intentionally to help us heal and transform and to help heal the planet. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Obviously, we love it when people subscribe. And if you do that, you'll make sure you get future videos that we're doing. So thanks for watching.